Hey everyone, SKL here. Today, we're exposing a financial revolution happening quietly beneath the headlines. While the world waited for a flashy BRICS coin, Russia and China launched something far more significant: crypto oil trades and digital yuan pipelines that are already reshaping global value exchange. Saudi Arabia is now signaling a massive shift in the energy market, as the petrodollar's dominance quietly erodes. This isn't a warning, it's reality. The real story is the new infrastructure, a parallel financial universe that doesn't need the dollar's permission. It's a fundamental re-engineering of global trade. Let's break down the 5 seismic shifts driving this silent revolution. The revolution began not with fanfare but with discrete transactions. Russia, blocked from SWIFT, needed a new way to sell energy to China and India. Enter crypto Russian oil giants started settling massive deals using Tether, a stablecoin pegged to the dollar. Ironically, they used the dollar's digital twin to bypass the dollar itself, moving billions outside traditional banking. These weren't experiments. Entire tankers of oil and gas were paid for through decentralized wallets invisible to Western sanctions. For India, crypto offered discounted Russian energy without risking US penalties. China, meanwhile, pushed its own digital yuan, making energy payments even more efficient and state-controlled. Now, a Russian LNG shipment to Shanghai is settled instantly, wallet to wallet, bypassing banks and SWIFT. The friction and risk of the old system? Gone. What started as a workaround is now standard for a huge slice of global energy trade. The message to the world: you're no longer trapped in a single financial system. The monopoly on global trade settlement is broken, not by decree, but by barrels of oil paid for in code. The psychological impact is huge. The no alternative to the dollar myth is shattered. Nations are building their own systems when the old ones fail them. The engine of de-dollarization is running, fueled by the world's most critical commodity. Mainstream media may ignore it, but in trading hubs from Singapore to Dubai, everyone's watching. The proof is in the deals. A new, resilient, and sovereign way to trade is now reality. The silence isn't ignorance, it's the sound of a new system humming to life. The world's energy markets are quietly rewiring themselves. The petrodollar's grip is slipping, not with a bang, but with a digital whisper. This is financial jujitsu at a global scale. The old rules are being rewritten, one transaction at a time. The future of trade is decentralized, fast, and increasingly invisible to old power structures. The shift is irreversible. The only question: who adapts and who gets left behind? Let's look at the next phase, the new superhighways of global payments. If crypto trades are the off-road vehicles, BRICS Pay and mBridge are the new superhighways. BRICS Pay isn't a new currency, it's a payment system connecting national rails like India's UPI, Brazil's PIX, and China's CIPs. Now a Brazilian business can pay an Indian supplier in real, instantly converted to rupees. No dollars involved. The dollar is bypassed entirely. mBridge, meanwhile, is a multi-central bank digital currency platform, built on blockchain with China, Hong Kong, Thailand, UAE, and now Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia joining mBridge is a seismic shift. The world's top oil exporter is co-building a platform to trade outside the dollar. Soon, China could buy Saudi oil in digital yuan, settled in seconds, not days. The petrodollar system is being dismantled, piece by piece. mBridge slashes cost, complexity, and counterparty risk. Plus, it gives nations control. No more vulnerability to US sanctions or policy whims. Over 26 central banks are watching or testing mBridge, including the ECB and New York Fed. The question isn't if this shift happens, but who sets the new rules. BRICS Pay and mBridge are moving from pilot to real-world use now, not in a decade. The old hub-and-spoke model with the dollar at the center is being replaced by a decentralized grid. The dollar will remain important, but its monopoly is ending. These platforms are the tools making that happen. The pace is breathtaking. The foundations are being laid in real time. The first vehicles are already on these new digital roads. The world is moving to a multipolar financial order. The US dollar is just one lane among many. The new system is more resilient, flexible, and sovereign. The future of global payments is programmable, instant, and borderless. The implications for trade, sanctions, and power are enormous. The world's financial engine is being rebuilt, quietly but rapidly. The next chapter: real-world adoption on a global scale. The revolution is no longer theoretical. It's happening in boardrooms, ports, and payment apps worldwide. Let's see how BRICS Plus is accelerating this shift. The revolution is cascading from central banks to everyday trade. BRICS expanded to include Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia. turning a club of 5 into a global economic force. The domino effect: new members immediately reoriented trade. UAE and India now settle oil deals in dirham and rupee. Brazil and China conduct $150 billion in trade in their own currencies. These moves de-risk economies from dollar volatility and political pressure. ASEAN countries are linking payment systems, letting businesses and tourists transact in home currencies across borders. Even Western companies are quietly using alternatives, like a French firm paying for Russian gas in rubles. For developing nations, using local currencies frees up capital and insulates them from US monetary policy. This is real-world adoption, dozens of countries and thousands of businesses shifting daily operations off the dollar. The psychological shift is profound. A generation raised on dollar dominance now sees real alternatives. The network effect is accelerating. Each new link strengthens the system. This isn't a conspiracy, it's pragmatic self-interest. From Brazil to Indonesia, nations are diversifying for stability and control. BRICS Plus provides the platform and momentum for a global movement. The gears of the world economy are turning in a new direction. The sound is the quiet hum of local currencies exchanged at global scale. The shift is irreversible and growing. Why is this new financial architecture spreading so fast? 3 reasons: speed, sovereignty, and sanctions-proofing. First, speed and cost. SWIFT is slow and expensive. New digital rails settle payments in seconds, not days, slashing costs and boosting efficiency. For global business, that's a game changer. Second, sovereignty. Nations are tired of their economies being hostage to US monetary policy. With local currency trade, they regain control. No more hoarding dollars or suffering from Fed decisions made thousands of miles away. It's not anti-American, it's pro-sovereignty. Third, sanctions-proofing. The US has weaponized the dollar system, freezing reserves and cutting off countries from SWIFT. The world took notice. Now, alternative pipes are being built that Washington can't shut off. For China, Russia, and the global South, it's a strategic imperative. These 3 factors, speed, sovereignty, and sanctions-proofing, create a self-reinforcing incentive. Businesses want efficiency, governments want independence and resilience. The shift is driven by practical self-interest, not ideology. The new system is faster, cheaper, and gives nations more control. The question isn't why build it, but why not? The old system's vulnerabilities are now impossible to ignore. The new architecture is a geopolitical insurance policy. The incentives are too strong to reverse. The world is moving, fast. The only real debate: who leads and who follows. Let's look at what this means for the global balance of power. This isn't a dramatic rebellion against the dollar, it's a quiet, systematic rebalancing. Think of it as building a new superhighway beside the old road, not blowing up the bridge. BRICS Plus isn't trying to kill the dollar, just make it optional. The world is moving from a unipolar to a multipolar financial order. Diversifying trade channels makes the system more stable and resilient. If one currency falters, trade flows through another. The strategy is evolution, not revolution. BRICS focused on payment systems and clearinghouses, not launching a volatile new coin. They're retrofitting the global engine, not reinventing the car overnight. The US exorbitant privilege is fading as the world diversifies. This means real consequences: less demand for US debt, higher interest rates, and weaker sanctions. The US will have to compete on economic strength, not just financial dominance. This isn't doomsday, but it's the end of an era. The post-1-2 order is giving way to a distributed system. US policymakers must adapt, not resist. The shift is happening in payment specs, trade agreements, and digital ledgers, not in headlines. The cumulative effect is a fundamental rewiring of global power. Economic power is diffusing as new giants demand a bigger say. The silent revolution is here, present, not future. The hum of the new engine grows louder daily. The world isn't abandoning the dollar in panic, it's quietly building new roads. The global trade network is now more diverse, resilient, and no longer dependent on a single lane. Verdict: this shift can't be unplugged. Russia and China triggered a quiet retrofit of global finance, not a coup. It's not about dethroning the dollar overnight, but building alternatives. And Saudi-backed digital oil deals are making them real. BRICS isn't chasing a trophy coin, they're paving multi-currency highways. The US exorbitant privilege faces real competition from a network, not a rival. The implications will ripple from Ohio to Jakarta. Is this the dollar's slow fade, or just a diversification of power? That's the question for the next decade. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more deep dives.